Good morning, how are we all doing? Gonna cover some Elon FUD as usual, and then we'll have a look at Bitcoin and we'll do some general market analysis as usual. I'll wait for a few people to get in and we'll crack on. How's everybody doing today? Let me know where you're from in chat. If you've got any questions regards to pretty much anything to do with price analysis or just crypto in general, fire them in comments and I'll try to get some at some stage. This seems to be the tweet that's done the damage. You can post some shit, can't you? I don't think it... well, he does. He realises what impact it's going to make, and everybody, all his admirers who got into Bitcoin end up shitting their pants and selling, but this is what causes some fucking damage here, all this Dogecoin shite. But yeah, that's a tweet that's caused the damage. Looking at the charts, had this nasty candle to the downside. I mean, it happened, what time we're at tweet at now? That's it. 2 o'clock this morning, so you're talking like 6 hours ago. We had 2 nasty candles to the downside. Shit happens, doesn't it? I mean, if you look at the overall move, we're still, if we finish at this region here, we're still creating a higher low. I mean, if you look at that region there, so that was the first higher low from that point. We then created a higher low here, another one here, another one here. So to me, I mean, this could be a potential higher low. It needs to finish up here, really, doesn't it? Could be a little bit nasty for a structure, what's going on here. But fingers crossed we stay within this pendant. I mean, we have wicked to the downside and dropped to around 36,228. But yeah, it's not looking too good for structure. It probably does, mate, Jerry. It's probably just doing it to get in a little bit cheaper, isn't it? Or just generally doing it just to cause some hassle throughout the markets. You know what he's like. I think he's a bit deranged in the head anyway. Although he's highly intelligent, we do know he's got Asperger's, and he probably just does things just for a shit and giggles, you know what I mean? But yeah, in terms of where we could go, if we just have a look at, let's get rid of that bullish pendant now. So I'm going to keep that lower line on. We'll keep that lower line just in case it acts as support. Currently we've bounced off it a little bit in that region. In terms of where we could go, in terms of a level, so we're currently at 50% retracement move from the entire move up. So, I mean, if this does hold up as support, then happy days. It might lead us into a weekend with a little bit of positivity if that is a support area. But if we do lose that, I think we're going to come down to 35728. And we've also got 78% retracement level down here. So, they're 2 levels that we could come down. But I think this region is what we need to keep as support. I think... yeah, that's a main region now. I mean, fingers crossed we do use this as support and we actually spin around and push on. But we do know that the US will be waking up later on. I think Europe's woke up, shit their pants as well, selling a little bit. But yeah, hopefully America don't wake up and follow on this shit, which will then run into a weekend, and then the weekend will turn into a load of shit again. If you look at this though, I mean, there's always a potential it could come back down to test this level around here. Had a lot of wicks within that region, so if you look at that wick there, we bounced off, closed bodies in that area, a wick here, so I mean 33k is a possibility, but let's just monitor it first. We need to see if we act as support here at 36,400. Fingers crossed the weekend doesn't bring a load of bloodshed due to what's gone on with that tweet, because it'll be an absolute nightmare, won't it? So that's pretty much BTC covered. Basically Elon FUD as usual, bringing it down. And yeah, fingers crossed we just hold some positivity in that range. It has taken effect over the entire market. I remember last time when this happened and we got all the China FUD, the alt severely took a beating. I know VeChain took like an 82% drop. I mean, if you zoom out and look at that, it's not actually that bad. It's just one candle down. It is pretty much taking away a bit of that positive momentum that we've had. But this is a setup I had from a VeChain video over there. If you look at this move here, we hit some tops, did quite a big retracement, hit tops here, retracement. So, I mean, we have shot above where I thought we were going to reject. We've actually been right up to that -2.7 level and rejected. So, I mean, in terms of where we could go, this is a potential level at 12 cent. Before we do spin around and push on and then target that 618 level again. So that's a potential setup with VeChain. What did Elon tweet? It wasn't even anything major, just that. That's what he tweeted. Bitcoin broken heart. And some shit underneath him and some Doge stuff that I usually post. I think eventually I saw a tweet from Flood, which I'll read out, which I find quite interesting. This one here, I think this is a point where the market starts caring less and less about Elon tweets and we begin fading the historical obvious trade. We'll see there are lots of sharp funds still banging size on any bearish Elon tweet, which is, as you can see, the bears are still wanting to win this this battle, and the bears are out in force, and whenever Elon posts anything slightly bearish, the bears jump on it and dump as much as they can and make it seem like it is Elon's tweet. So I think we're just using his tweets as ammunition, but he's right, bang on the money there, Flood, what he's saying. I think what he's saying there, eventually it'll begin to fade out, and I do believe so. I think that he started tweeting a lot recently, and it has affected the price, but eventually the market will come wise to that, and yeah, I think it'll fade away eventually. Like a lot of things initially have a big impact, and then after that they just start fading away. Yeah, Zill's not looking too good. It's nothing to do with Zill. I mean, we had a lovely rise yesterday, and then look at that. It's an absolute joke. We've done a full retracement from that move yesterday, which is bullshit, really, because we had that $200 million investment, and then we've come back down to pretty much 11 cent. Absolute nightmare, but shit happens. I mean, we just need to zoom out, don't we? I mean, if you look at a weekly, we're still way up from where we was over the course of the last few years. I don't think we'll go any lower on that, to be honest. We've had a nice bounce back off that 7.9 cent and pushed up. I mean, we pushed our way up to 15 cent at one stage. So I do think that we are going to, once this weekend's potentially out of the way, I think we're going to recommence and start to push on. I've seen a few people saying that we could have a sideways chop for BTC over the course of the next month, which is possible. I mean, it could happen for the next 2 to 3 months. We could have a potential sideways action, a bit of accumulation period, a bit of uncertainty. Because if you're looking at this Bitcoin stock to flow, I've looked at this a few times over the last few videos, and I do believe that it's looking quite similar to what's happened in the past. I mean, we had this bull run of 2013. We had 2 peaks on that, really. Then you're looking at a 2017 peak. That peak was around December 2017. That peak, I had 2 peaks. We had a peak in April, and we had a peak around December as well. So 2 peaks in December. What's to say we can't have a peak this December? I mean, if you're looking at that model there, that's showing that the peak is around August, but they're usually a few months delayed. So I reckon potentially between August and January, I think we're going to have a good peak in Bitcoin, and I think things should hopefully start pushing on. But yeah, in terms of now, I think we're going to get a little bit of sideways action for a few months, but let's wait and see what goes on there. Just catch up on my chat. Tesla dropped 6% before I tweeted. Yeah, shocking. I hate Elon. Yeah, I think he's getting a lot of shit at the minute, but rightly so. Exactly right. Just ignore him and he will be forgotten about soon. It's a fucking nightmare, isn't it? But like I say, shit happens. You've seen all his blood on the markets. And all you have to take that as an opportunity. If you're looking, you've been looking at a project, I don't know, take a Polkadot for example. Let me just go back to the daily. If you've been watching this for ages and then you thought, right, I wanted to buy in around this region, but it started pumping, we had a pullback. Imagine if you wanted to buy in this, you're thinking, right, we're at $28, I want to buy at 25, and you're getting that opportunity now. I mean, there's always a good chance we could come to this range. Let's have a look at that in terms of a, while we're on this. I'll have a look at two setups. So, currently on that 618 level there, if we look at the entire move, the potential that we could still come down to this region, 50% over 61%. So if you're looking for some buys, you're looking at 23.50 and 22.31 for Polkadot there. CHSB still have great future potential, yeah, massive. The more people that lock up the CHSB tokens, the more it's going to increase in value. I'm currently, I've got some USDC on yield in Swissborg, and I'm getting 12%, which is a decent amount really, just for holding it there. I've not got a ton in there, but I'm making like $14 a day, I think, from it, which for free just by holding it in there is absolutely class. I've seen Martini guy, he's got bloody $1.3 million in there. He's making $600 a day just from holding him there, so it's definitely worth doing. But yeah, Martini does like to show off a bit, doesn't he? Yeah, but in terms of CHSB, yeah, I think it will have a future. I think it's a solid app. The more people that join and want the premium section, we have to buy them 2,000 tokens. And let's have a look at the price of that a minute. Have I got it on here? CHSB. Yeah, so I mean, get rid of that TA, that's obsolete. We've been up to 167 at one stage, so I mean, if you're wanting to get the premium now, I think it's a solid less price to get in. And look at that, we're wicked all the way down to, oh, that must be a scam wick. Yeah, scam wick. So that is the area to buy there. I would be buying anything within this region. You're getting them 2,000 CHSB for currently less than. So what, let's have a look how much you get them for. I've not got a dollar pair either. Won't bother out them. But yeah. You're probably right there, Marcus. It was a little bit overrated. We had a massive bounce back. I mean, some of the projects have done like a 200 to 300% bounce back off from low. So yeah, probably right. I mean, Elon probably just added to that heat, didn't it? And I think alts will break away from Bitcoin. It's tough. I mean, we're still in the early days, aren't we? Even though, I mean, some projects have been around 6 months and doing well. Some have been around 5-6 years. I still think we're a fair few years away from it happening. But I'm absolutely dying for that day when individual projects move on their own rather than being tied to Bitcoin, because it is a bit of a nightmare. I mean, you could invest in a project like Zilliqa, which fundamentally is sound, it's a solid project, but because it has that links to BTC, BTC is still king. it's taking it out on pretty much everything. So it is a nightmare, and the cycles are in favour of Bitcoin. So I don't know when, but I think it will happen at some stage, which what we need. Currently that upper trend has acted as support on BTC there, so that looks okay, to be honest, at a minute. Let's get rid of them levels. Mine never broke out of a pendant. Yeah, it depends where you drew a pendant from. I drew it on the lower time frames, and I had it on the 4 hour around here. And we did break out, but we've come back, and that was the lower line of a pendant that I had in play. Actually using that as support currently, so I think if we do hold that level of support there, I think it might be okay. But we know what the weekend's like, don't we? Why do people sell when BTC dumps? Lack of experience, lack of trading knowledge, lack of understanding of the markets. There's a lot. Fear and greed. We do know that fear. Let's have a look at fear and greed index today. See what that's saying. Actually pushed up a little bit today at 27. Wouldn't surprise me if once that's updated it drops a little bit due to this this bullshit that Elon's pushed out, but we are on the rise compared to where we was last week at 21. If somebody saw that emoji at -14, that'd be quite funny. Not emoji, that meme. I'm tired of Elon, aren't we all, buddy? Like we were saying with Flood's tweet earlier on, I think eventually it'll just fade away whenever I think the market will wisen up to what he's got going on. Can you explain a scam wick? Scam wick is really, depends really on Bitcoin. You can get things like this, for example, where, for example, there's loads of longs in play around here, and either an exchange or somebody with a mass amount of money will hammer the sells to trigger those stop losses or those liquidation prices, and then basically take all their funds away. It happens a lot. If you zoom out though, compared to what's been going on over the last few days, should I say, it's not too bad. I mean, it is a bit of a nasty and it's a bit of a shock because it sends a few ripples through the markets, but it's not that bad, to be honest. Let's see if that holds up. Let's look what moving averages are saying. We've got any crosses, aren't we? Too many simps in crypto. There's a lot of new people, I'll give you that. I mean, how many new people have come to market over the last 6 months? Even since we had that COVID dump in March 2020, markets have been on the up, and that inevitably is bringing people into the markets. I mean, I think that was pretty much start of the bull run. We had that COVID dump in March 19. If we just let's have a look on the daily. That was it there. That was that COVID dump, and then ever since then we've been on a massive. What did we drop in terms of price back then? Okay, we had a 64% dump when that COVID lockdown happened, and then ever since then, look at that, all the way up. And I would have expected at some stage we did need to get some relief. And even if you look at that in terms of where we've dropped from the top to the bottom, that was only a 53% drop. So we do know that these drops happen. So it's nothing to worry about at the minute. I mean, what we're having now, if you look at this period around here, that was a period of consolidation, some liquidity and structure building before we took that next leg up, and I honestly think that's what's happening here. I think we might get like a few weeks of building some structure, building up some liquidity before we do start to spin around and push on and hopefully try and create some new highs at some stage over the next few months. But in terms of where we're going to be in terms of all-time highs, I think that's going to be towards the back end of this year, going into Q3, Q4. Literally just change that tune. What happens when all the USA wakes up? 33k? I don't know. Depends, mate. We're probably all pissed all at Miami, aren't we? Sending pics of each other, and Twitter's absolutely flooded with them. This, yeah, Matthew, mate. I mean, this could spiral over into the weekend, and we could get some tasty orders filled down at these prices. But let's just monitor it. Hopefully we hold up on this trend line, yeah. Just want to look at caps. I think it had a bit of a drop. $9.17, not too bad. Afternoon, Bobby. You're right there, Jerry. That always happens, mate. It like continues. You get it over 3 time zones. You see, the FUD dropped probably when Asia's just awake. So Asia dump it. Then you get Europe waking up. Europe shit their pants and dump it. My dog's going mad. And then you get America waking up and dumping it even further more. So it's a bit of a chain reaction. Give me a second, I'll shut his dog up. Damn dog. So yeah, you get pretty much a chain reaction of 3 time zones dumping the price. But let's just monitor it and see how it goes. Just don't flap. If it does sell off, if you've got some Tether or stable coins, Andy, just top up on those lows, because inevitably we are going to pump at some stage. So buy the lows, hold long term, and I think we will all just be good. That's all I've done since my 5 years in crypto. Buy and hold, best way. If you've not got any funds there to buy the dips, just sit on your hands and just don't get too involved in the charts. I mean, like we do know, crypto is volatile and shit happens, doesn't it? Just hold through it and you'll be laughing. I'm not an Aussie, no, I'm Englishman, Yorkshireman. Oh. Early stream this morning, 8:30. How much will it drop more today? Potentially it could come down to, if you're looking at this in terms of Fibonacci levels, and we've got the 618 level here, and then we could do a full retracement, to be honest. I mean, 33k there, but 33k, there's some solid support around here. I mean, this wick bounced off it, we had some trading within this region, bounced off it as support here, so that is always a potential, but fingers crossed this support line holds. Yeah, fingers crossed. Right, shall we have a look at some altcoins? If you got any requests for altcoins, drop them in the comments and we'll have a look at some altcoin price analysis. Have a look at some levels we could potentially drop down to if the market does allow. Yeah, it is Winston actually, yeah. RSR, so let's have a look at RSR. So 4 hour time frame, RSR here. Nearly done that 61% retracement. I think that's your buy zone. 3.4 cent is, I would place some orders there because it is rebounded off this region now, but there's always that good chance that we could come back down and retest it. If you get a few 4 hourly closures below that 50%, it's probably going to come down there. If you're looking at moving averages, we've got a potential cross coming in, so that would to me signal out. I know it's a lagging indicator, but it could potentially drop a little bit further down and consolidate within this region over the weekend before it does start pushing on. But yeah, I mean, if we did come in here lower, I mean, we could do a full retracement and test this 2.9 cent, but I think 3 cent will hold up as a solid level of support around there. That's 3 cent. Probably could use that region as support, but we just need to see the weekend, see how it goes. If we're looking at, if we do bounce off this region and we're looking for take profits, as you can see, we did peak up here at 4.3 cent, which was those highs there. If we do push above that, we can look at this region here at 4.6 and then 5.1 cent to pretty much target as take profits or even accumulation zones. Still a long way to go with RSR. There's not much been going on recently. I've not even heard anything about I've not heard anything about the mainnet recently either. Where in Yorkshire from? A little place called Pontefract. Right, so that's RSR covered. Looking at Zilliqa, and we'll go on to VeChain. There's a lot of coins that are looking very similar. We're about to potentially get that crossover on moving averages. RSI was a little bit overbought on the 4 hour time frame. We had that massive pump. It's a shame really, because like I said towards the beginning of the stream, we had that $200 million injection, and it's just been sold into, which is a fucking nightmare really. But I mean, are we still trending up? You could say we're still trending up. If very manipulative these trends. I mean, if you ignore that wick, we're still currently sat on that trend line there. Let's see if that holds up. If it doesn't, it's going to come down to 11.6 cent and potentially 10.6 cent too. But we just need to see what goes on, don't we? It depends what happens when USA wake up and start pushing on. Don't be afraid of your investment in Bitcoin. Do not. That's what all this shit and all this FUD is for. Just people getting in cheap. If you sell your Bitcoin, you're going to be at a loss, aren't you? There's no point. Just hold long term and you will be massively rewarded for your patience. Yeah, Tencent getting a bit of a sell-off there, isn't it? I think a lot of coins are, to be honest. It's not just Tencent. I think I sold a fair chunk up here at $5 just before that that Gate.io listing. I'm expecting a drop, and it dropped down to 417. We have rebounded, but it's now rejecting. Currently at 355. I mean, if you look at that over the entire move there, we lost that 786, so it's not looking too good, that, to be honest. It is looking like we are now forming a downtrend. Let's just look at this on a daily. If you take the entire move from the 1st of May up to the top, lost that 618 though, so if you're looking for some buys, we've got a lot of wicks within this region, so I would be looking at buys at 275. I think that's probably a good level for you to potentially buy if the market does allow. But yeah, let's see that. See if we come down here and bounce before we do start to push on again. Remember, it's not had too many pullbacks this on the way up, so at some stage big players was going to sell. What altcoins do well if BTC dumps? I'm not too sure, but I think Theta has been doing quite well. No, it's not. None really. Not so many. I remember I used to digibuy them whenever DGB was doing well, because BTC was doing bad. But yeah, that's dumping as well. Pretty much everything's just being led by BTC at the minute. All the ones I'm watching anyway. What doesn't get affected, if you're looking to trade and you're looking to gross satoshis, look at the altcoin BTC pairs. They don't drop as much. Or I mean, look at, for example, VeChain here. It's dropped 8%, but on the BTC pair, it's not really dropped much, has it? We've come down and tested this EMA 21 on the 4-hour time frame, so that could be the bottom there. We have tested it and popped back up. That was a setup I had a while ago, looking for a breakout on VeChain BTC, and it's popped back up. Also, let me just have a look at my portfolio in terms of BTC. Portfolio has been savaged again this morning. Let's just change that to BTC. Wow. Yeah, so I'm only down 3% in BTC today, where if we look at dollars, down 8%. So yeah, if you're looking to potentially benefit from these dumps, look at trading in a BTC pairs. What did Elon tweet? It wasn't even anything major, it was just some bullshit about Bitcoin broken out, blah blah blah. Same shit, different day. It's funny that somebody's posted that there, that Tesla's dropping. He's his own worst enemy, isn't he? Come. What do you think about ADA? Not a massive fan, really. I don't know. That's nothing like negative. It's just that I've never really looked into it, to be honest. Fucking week off distribution. Sick of seeing that. That's just as bad as Elon FUD. Litecoin. So Litecoin USDT, not done much of a drop, to be honest, compared to some others. Looks like it's in a period of consolidation, doesn't it? How much we dropped today? 10% down. We had a crossover around the moving averages. Tap off that 618 level, I reckon that's it now. If we do come down again, we might test these double tweezer bottoms here at $164. So that could be a potential buy zone, but let's see how this 618 golden ratio level holds up before we do push on. If we do spin around here, can target these levels at $209 and $224 over the next few months. With the Wyckoff, I'm not a massive fan of patterns. Like, part of it can play out, and it probably will play out in certain stages, but it's never a good indicator. Like, it's never a solid indicator that it's actually going to happen. I mean, part of a Wyckoff could happen, yeah, but part of it might not happen. So it's like it's not exactly accurate, and I'm not a fan of patterns, to be honest. So I mean, take it as you see it. If part of it is playing out, then happy days, but I wouldn't follow it to a T. Yeah, it's just that one video got put out about it, and everyone's saying it's following it, and now everybody's following it to a T. Where I think a lot of people will come unstuck when they're following it. I think it's going to drop down to 20k when in reality it's not, is it? I don't think it's going to drop down to those new to those levels, to be honest. I think this 30k is a bottom, to be honest. I don't think we'll come down and test it again. There's a possibility it'll come down and test 33k. We've always got 33k down here, which has been a solid area of liquidity, so that could be the bearish scenario where we hit. But remember, we was on a good rally. All rallies must come to an end at some stage before we hit down, pick up some liquidity and push on. Martini guy is doing a vid on how to short Tesla with BTC. Yeah, fundamentals for me in crypto beat anything else, but the overriding factor in that is BTC is still king, and unfortunately, like for example, we look at Zilliqa, we look at Polkadot, we look at VeChain. Fundamentally, they're all sound as hell, and in reality, this shouldn't have happened. If you just look at this, for example, VeChain, there's no other reason for this to happen here. No other reason for this to happen. 80% drop, 82% drop. Other than BTC, fundamentally the project is sound as hell. We've got an absolute ton going on. Nothing's changed the project, but fear in the market from Bitcoin dropping off and the entire market pulling back is what pulled it back. So fundamentally, yeah, fundamentals do massive, but unfortunately we've still got that massive anchor to us of BTC ruling the roost. So yeah, shit happens, doesn't it? Got a few bear signals coming out on the 4-hour time frames, which is expected. We've had quite a big drop. Well, I won't say a big drop, actually. It's not even that big, is it? I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Let's see how this holds up, this 50% level. Probably going to come down here and disregard this this trend line now. It's probably going to be. So we'll get rid of it. Let's see what goes on. Yeah, if you're down on any projects and in the red, do not worry. This is just all a bit of market manipulation. Eventually, we will push up. Just sit on your hands. Do not consider selling if you're in a loss or anything, because we will bounce back at some stage. Harmony 1, let's have a look at this a second. Currently still rejecting. I think the market's getting a little bit more of a pullback as we speak. I mean, if you're looking at this entire move, 618 level could be a good area to target. If you're looking for buys, and I would target this region here, 8.8 cent. 618 could happen. A nice bounce back before we push on. First major target, we wicked into this area. I was saying on the previous video that this region around here where we rejected quite a lot of 12 cent, we didn't close anything above 12 cent, and I was looking within this zone, we actually rejected off this zone again and we're flipping back down. So in terms of pullbacks, I think that Elon bollocks that he's tweeted is not the main area for concern. I think it's just a general market pullback. If you look here, we had a good rise, big pullback. Here we are getting a pullback. I mean, we can't just keep moving up in straight lines, can we? So this could do that 61% retracement before we do push on. But let's just monitor and see what goes on. See a few people joining chat now. Welcome everybody. If you're new here, make sure you're subbed. Hit that like button. If you've got any questions regards to crypto, just fire them in chat. Still holding Rose Reef? Yes, I'm holding Reef still. So let's just swap this to a 15-minute. Let's watch this savagery happen. So I want to have a look at actually see what trades are going through on Bitcoin. Getting a bit of a bounce back on the lower time frames. You can see the buys coming here. This website here shows you all the buys over $100,000. Bouncing back at a minute. This is only the 10-second time frame, so don't take this to too much strength. But loads of buys coming in here for Bitcoin now. What is the site's name? This is AG. I'll paste it for you into the chat. Let's go back through chat, see what we got. Luna's 27% assailant support. Which happens first, 20k or 100k? Definitely not 20k. 20k is not going to happen. 30k is probably bottom. Solid level support down at 30k. Loads of liquidity within this range. Absolutely loads. 30k will be acting as some nice support. As you can see, shitloads of wicks at that bottom. I can't see us dropping below there, to be honest. What do you use to manage your portfolio? Don't really manage it, I monitor it. I just look at, I log everything on CoinGecko, which currently is looking very red. 9% down today. Had a few bears in my chat today. Right, let's have a look at some other altcoins anyway. Yeah, you can have realistic sentiments too, but that's just your opinion, buddy. I don't think we're going to drop below that. I think all's looking okay. I think we're going to have a few months of consolidation for a while though. Yeah, this weekend could push it down. That's why we're looking at our 33k region. Could always do that full retracement back down to here where we saw some liquidity grabs down at 33,400. So that is a possibility for market shakeout does continue throughout the weekend. Elon, master manipulator. You're not wrong there. Definitely not false hopes, mate. If you think it's going 10 to 20k, then happy days, good luck to you, but I'm not in that boat. Definitely not, no false hopes. Right, Matic, let's have a look at that. So we've tapped off that region there where we're looking at on Matic. If you look at this area around here, we've used this area support a lot. Support here, support here, support here. And I did say on yesterday's video that we could have potential drop to this region. As you can see, it's happened. We was consolidating for a while before gearing up for the next leg, either to the upside or the downside. And as the market has dropped, Matic has followed it down, created a Bart Simpson there. And let's see if this holds up. I think if it doesn't hold up, then who knows. I mean, we could look at some of these wicks down here. If you look at that wick there, actually it was support all the way through and support there. So I mean, if we did lose this level, it could potentially come down to 132, and that could be a nice area for you to fill some orders up. The music loud, is it? Turn it down a bit. What's Doge doing actually? Has that Coinbase listing happened yet? Got Doge on there somewhere. Oh, I must have done some PA on this recently. 34 cent. Doge will fall to 0.28 in 2 days. So it's live on Coinbase. So you would expect whenever you get a big listing like that, you always get a sell-off into the news, don't you? But that's not really happened too much, to be honest. Probably coming down to 34 region. Where did you say it's going to go? 28. That'll be a full retracement of the entire move there. Always a possibility. We use that area as support a couple of times, so who knows, mate. For 33k is a full retracement of that entire move. So if ETH does a full retracement of that entire move, I mean, you're talking at 2k and 2.2k. So I mean, they're possibilities. But it's looking quite strong, to be honest, so far. Maybe target this region here, 2391. Could be a nice area to buy. Better to jump on Doge or Shiba. I'm not a massive fan of these meme coins, to be honest, mate, so no point asking me. I just try to invest in blockchains rather than fucking memes. Our 50% level's been tapped once, so it's probably going to come down there and test it again. If you're looking for buys, maybe 5.26, ladder some down to $5 probably, maybe 2 or 3 orders within that range. I think you should get lucky and get some info on EOS. If we do break up though, you can look at first area to target is there. Got a target over previous highs at 766. I mean, you can look at 875, but still a little bit crazy to see what's going on. We need to see what's going on with market first. Buy orders for Polkadot. I'm looking at around $22, I'd say. You can see it's confluence with a lot of support here, all the way through. So yeah, probably 22.30. Looks like this level's incoming. 35.728. I might set a little bit of a long up on that and see if it bounces up short term or at lower time frames. Like a nasty sell-off here on Hollow too. I think that's going to be the place where it could be the potential bottom. 0.007 could be the major area on Hollow. It could also do that full retracement as well. So if you're looking for buys, maybe potentially that region, 0.0076 or 0.0079. Opinion on BNB, why do you think it rallied up so fast? Well, the rise of BSC, smart chains, rise of BNB, the usage of Binance. There's a lot going on with BNB, to be honest. Well, once we've had this, whatever's going on at market happen, once it's finished, and I think it will push up. But 308, where's $308? Oh, since 308. Pretty much the market's just rallied well, I mean, across the board. I've already looked at Matic, buddy. I think that could be the bottom, to be honest. It's a nice area of liquidity around there, so I think that could be the bottom at 153. It was all green before he tweeted, but I mean, I think it's just added fuel to the fire, to be honest. I think we was due a little bit of a pullback. We was on a nice rally. We was on a good rally, to be honest. In BTC, we're pushing back up. I mean, in terms of growth, we did a 18% growth spurt. So, I mean, we should have expected a pullback at some stage. And I think that, like I say, Elon's just added fuel to the fire, to be honest. See if we drop down to 35,728. Ibrahim, we have already looked at VeChain. That's a potential setup I was looking at here. Potentially down to 12.1 cent maybe before we do start pushing on, but it's not much of a pullback really, VeChain. It could always drop back down to here at 11 cent, so that could be a potential setup. But let's see how that goes. We did hit a top here, retraced, hit a top here, retraced. If you just look at this level here, we've hit a top and retraced. Let me actually move that Fibonacci up now. Actually currently hanging around that late region. Unfortunately, I don't know any snipers, mate. Please answer why ADA falling. Look at the entire market, mate. Look on my right hand side. Everything's falling. Thoughts on Utrust? It's a decent platform. I think I held some investment, some of their tokens at some stage, but I sold them for a bit of profit. I mean, I just prefer other platforms. I use Swissborg mainly. VRA, has it done a nasty? Has it done a nasty one? We got VRA on here. I did a price analysis video on VR8 the other day, and I had highlighted two levels. This was the level I said to buy. So we're currently within that region, so if you did manage to fill some orders in here, happy days. I think it's a nice area for you to buy, considering what we've done, quite a big pump from the bottom there. I mean, if you look at that before move, 128% bounce. So if you're looking to get some orders in here, I think it's a good area for you to buy. I've not actually been asked about XRP. I never really cover it. I've always said that I like the network of XRP. I just don't like all the shilling that comes with it. And all the shite. That's your buy zone down there. Hit nicely. Let's see if it continues down to 8.85 cent now. Could be a level to load up. I think this weekend's going to be... I mean, we do know about weekends for the last 6-7 months have been weekends where selling off. So we could come down to that region. Do you stake on Swissborg for community premium? Yes, I do. You need 2,000 CHSB. You just have to look it up for 12 months and then you get that. You get 1.5 extra X on your leverage. So, sorry, on your yield returns. I'm currently getting. I'll have a look now. I'm getting 11.62% on my yield returns there. ETH's currently using that 236 level as support. It's not done such a major pullback as some other alts here at the minute. If you're looking for some buys, I mean, I don't want to say it, but I mean, you could always fill some maybe down at 2391 or 2524. Even in that region, if you're looking to place some orders, maybe bang a few within this range and see if you get filled. But hopefully this will act as some nice supportive and we might be able to push on. If we do push on, then we can target this region 3k. I think 3k is a solid region to look at targeting. Yeah, they are quite cheap, to be honest. I think it's 75 cent for 1 CHSB, so that's not too bad. Yeah, once you stake 2,000 CHSB, you get it straight away. You get that 1.5 extra percent line, 1.5x leverage extra. You also get some free crypto when you sign up if you use this link, what I'm going to show you. Pin that there. Use that link, you'll get some free crypto when you deposit some up to about $50. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up today, guys. That's going to do it for the stream. Thanks everybody who's tuned in. I've done a stream every day this week, I think, so might try and blast another stream out in the morning, or once I've finished my days at work from next week, I'll be starting to do some more streams as well. So make sure that you are subscribed if you're not already. Hit that like button. Jump into my Telegram group as well. The link's in the description of this video. Talk some crypto, ask me some questions, do whatever you want to do, and yeah, catch you later on.